Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a Q&A type video. Of course, there are going to be a lot of things said about Liberty. Most of the questions that I ever receive on any of my Q&As are just always about Liberty. A lot of you guys have subscribed to me from my Liberty themed videos. So yeah, if you are class of 2024, comment down below. I'm super excited for you guys to be at Liberty. I'm super excited to meet all of y'all, to be y'all's friend, to help you guys out in any way that I can. I hope that this video is helpful for you guys, but also there's going to be a few other questions that aren't Liberty related. I told you guys to ask me literally whatever, and I literally posted an Instagram story like with the question bubble thing 20 or so minutes ago, so I'm just like letting the questions come in and I'm going to answer them as they come. It is a beautiful day outside. I'm sitting on my front porch in this cute little purple porch swing that we have. It makes me very happy, and I thought this would be a perfect time to film a video for you guys. Last summer I have so many videos out on my front porch, and it's crazy to see like how much I've changed and how much I've grown, just like looking back at those videos where I was in the same spot that I am now, but now I'm a year wiser, which is awesome. Thank you Jesus for that. I'm going to go right into the questions. This question says, favorite things to do with your friends at Liberty? If it's on campus, it's definitely hanging out in the second floor of the library. If you go to Liberty, you know the library on the second floor is like the social hub of the entire school. Literally, like everybody and their mother hangs out there. Like relationships are born there. People fall in love in the Jerry Falwell Library. If you go to Liberty next year, you will soon realize that almost everything goes down in the second floor of the library, and that is where everybody hangs out. Rarely is homework ever done on that floor. If you want to actually get homework done, go to the third floor. But yeah, on campus, definitely the second floor of the library. Off campus, probably Golf Park. That's like a super popular coffee shop that me and my friends go to all the time. It's literally like the classic Liberty coffee shop that everybody's always at, and because of my like super relaxed schedule this past semester, I was actually able to go all the time with my friends who had similar schedules. And next year, I actually am going to have the same schedule where I only have classes on Tuesday, Thursdays. Praise Jesus for that. But yeah, those are probably the two things that I would say are super fun to do with my friends. Somebody said, I'm living in Commons 2, floor 6 next year. Are odd numbered rooms facing east? Yes. If you have an odd numbered room in Commons 2, you're facing east. And if you have an even numbered room, you're facing Commons 3 in the beautiful sunset. So sorry, you probably won't be able to see the sunset if you're on an odd facing room. This question says, advice for welcome week. So I'm assuming that welcome week is the week that, oh wait, I think, is welcome week? I'm assuming welcome week is the first week of school. I sound so stupid that I don't know, but like I literally don't remember. I think it's when y'all are like getting to school. I know that the freshmen move in before everybody else, so maybe that has to do with welcome week. Okay, so my advice for like that first week of freshman year would be to go out of your comfort zone and meet as many people as possible. I know a lot of you guys have like DM'd me and said, oh my gosh, like I've been talking to people on social media or whatever. That was like one of my biggest pieces of advice for you guys that I've been saying over and over again, like meet friends on Facebook, meet friends on Instagram, meet friends on Snapchat, continue to talk before you get to school. I would say don't be awkward. Like just don't be awkward. Go up to people and be like, hey, like I follow you on Instagram, like let's be friends, like let's go get coffee. Because your first week of freshman year, chances are you're not gonna have that much homework, so y'all are going to be able to like make those connections and meet those people, and it's not gonna happen if you're awkward and shy. I'm definitely like an extrovert or like a combination of the two, so it's not super hard for me to do that. I know not everybody is the same. Sometimes it's kind of scary to do that, but your first week of freshman year, you should definitely try to push yourself to be social and meet as many people as possible, because that's the best time to meet people. So this next question isn't Liberty focused, but it says, how do you deal with defeat or setbacks? I think the way that I personally deal with it, again, it's not the way that everybody deals with it, but the way that I deal with it is I let myself mourn. I let myself be sad about it. Y'all know my trip to Hawaii for this summer was canceled. I was supposed to be a Christian camp counselor at a camp in Oahu, Hawaii. If you want more details on that, watch my last video. I talked a lot about that, and I also talked a lot about all that's going on with Liberty in terms of the media and what's going on with that. So I posted that video last. Go watch that one. But yeah, I think I let myself mourn first, and I accept the fact that what I wanted to happen isn't what's happening. I feel like that sucks, like it's inconvenient, but at the same time, like if something doesn't happen for you that's disappointing, it means that God has something better, and I have full faith in that because I've had so many instances in my life where things have not gone my way. Like, I come from a broken home, my parents are divorced, like I would never have chosen that for myself, but I've seen so many good things and so many blessings come out of the hardships that I've endured throughout my life. So I would say that that's the way that I deal with it, is being like, Lord, you are faithful then, you're going to be faithful now, and I trust that you have something better for me. This question says, I saw in your bingo that you got dress coded, LOL, what was it for? Okay, so the bingo thing was something that people have been like posting on their Instagrams. It's like you like color out a square on your Instagram story if it's happened to you. This one was by my friend Meredith, like she made a template and everything, and so I used it, and I X'd out the fact that I have gotten dress coded at Liberty, and for some reason I can't remember what I got. Oh, I remember. Okay, so I was in my global studies class, and literally like until this point, this was maybe like a month ago, like this was like almost right before spring break. Up until that point, I had never gotten dress coded, and I wear things that are like kind of out of dress code sometimes. I mean, sorry, like I'm not sorry, but yeah, the dress code, like it's not usually super enforced at all. Like I see people wearing stuff that's way out of dress code, and as long as you're in dress code for class, you're good. But anyways, I was wearing this top that was like, it was like a crop top. This person in my class came up to me and I was like, what is she gonna say? Like, is she gonna say, like I didn't know what she was gonna say because she wasn't the teacher, she wasn't the GSA, and she was like, hi, like I'm actually an RA and you're out of dress code. I wanted to tell you before anybody else like said anything to you or like you got penalized or anything. So she was just looking out for me, so I didn't technically get dress coded, but I did have somebody like tell me one time that I was out of dress code. This question says, college application process advice. Okay, so I only applied to 4 schools. I've said this a million times, but I'm gonna say it again. I applied to Liberty University, Samford University in Alabama, Anderson University in South Carolina, and Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. So these are all Christian schools, and I got into all 4 of them. I only applied to Christian schools because I want to go into missions work, like I want to be a missionary at some point in the future, God willing. And I was also involved in a lot of things in high school. I was on student government, I was in choir. I didn't play any sports, so I like overcompensated with the fact that I was in student government and all these other things. And I got like okay SAT scores. I'm not gonna say what I got. I didn't get amazing, but I didn't get bad either. I'm not the best test taker. I think I have like ADHD or ADD, like one of those that's never been diagnosed. I don't know. I don't have the highest test scores. I think for Liberty, like they're not necessarily the hardest school to get into from my perspective. I don't think that it's like incredibly difficult to get into it. You have to have like pretty good grades, pretty okay SAT score, but they're not really looking for like the smartest people ever. I think they're just looking for more so the people that are going to further the kingdom of God, and they want to accept people for that very reason. This question says, best housing at Liberty. So for your freshman year, I would definitely recommend living in Commons. I lived in Commons too my freshman year. I'm about to be a sophomore. I'm not going to live in Commons next year, but I think that Commons is the best place where you can meet people. I've also heard great things about the Circle as well as the Hill. I'm living in the Hill next year. I would recommend all of those options for your freshman year. East is great for when you play like a club sport or if you're on a sports team. East is also great if you have like a designated friend group, so like more so if you're an upperclassman and you kind of want that off-campus feel without actually being on campus. That's what East is great for. You also have a kitchen and a living room at East. That's awesome. I think you also have that at the Quads. The Quads isn't a bad option, but it's kind of like farther away from most of the things that happen at Liberty, so it's kind of just like what you're looking for. But yeah, I would recommend Commons, like all of Commons, the Hill, and the Circle. Is the Liberty Gym free for students? Yes. What vlog camera do you use? And right now I'm filming on my Sony 30X and I love it. It's amazing. It's great. Shout out Victoria Ganelli for giving it to me. She rocks. This question is a great question. It says advice on picking classes at Liberty. So there are a few things that I would recommend, but for the most part, I think that all of the professors do a great job. Some standout professors that I would say that y'all should take is to take Professor Wheeler for Evangelism 101. That is a great class. It's required for all freshmen or like transfers or like basically all Liberty University students have to take evangelism. Take it with Dr. Wheeler. He's amazing. He will completely transform your faith. Like, he has made me think so differently than I did at the beginning of the year in terms of like preaching the gospel and like the urgency that we need to have for that. So yeah, definitely take Wheeler. I also recommend, if you are a psych student, like, or if you have a psych major, psych minor, or I think everybody kind of has to take some, I don't know which realm this fits into, but like, you can take a psych class at some point. Like, it fits into everybody's thing. There's some sort of requirement that it fits into. Take Psych 101 with Sunday Donovan. She's absolutely amazing. She's the cutest woman ever. I love her. Psychology is one of my minors. My major is global studies, and I'm minoring in Spanish and psychology. In terms of planning your schedule for freshman year, for my first semester of freshman year, I had classes every day. I think it just kind of depends like how your brain works and what's going to motivate you. Second semester, I ended up stacking my classes and only having classes on Tuesday, Thursday, so that I would have time to film and do things that I enjoy on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so filming was a priority for me. I did all my residential classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I had like 2 or 3 online classes for this semester. But yeah, I think it really depends how your brain works and how you're going to get out of bed and get at it. I know for some of my friends, they literally can't have a day off because then they won't get out of bed and they won't do anything. So for me, I know that I can be self-motivated and I can wake up and do my online homework. So it just really depends how your brain works. I would recommend both of those professors though, and also use the website. I think it's called Rate My Professors. Basically, you just type in your professor's name. It's pretty self-explanatory on the website, and you get to see like the ratings that other students have given for certain professors. So if you see a professor as you're signing up for a class and you don't know like if they're good or not, look on that website. And also, I know for me, my freshman year, I was so confused about how to like register for classes. So I would recommend calling, I called somebody at Liberty. It was like the help desk or something, or like the class registration person. It's somewhere online. You can just Google like Liberty University help desk and they can like forward you to whoever I'm talking about. But I ended up having somebody walk me through how to register my classes. I would recommend y'all do that too. It was super helpful. Now that I've been through it and done 2 semesters at Liberty, I know kind of how to do it. But if y'all are just now going to Liberty for your freshman year, I'd recommend getting on the phone and having somebody walk you through what classes you need. This is actually a great question. It says, is it hard seeing all of your back home friends partying while you aren't really? Honestly, no. I have never really been a partier. Like, I am not interested in that at all. I have no plans on ever drinking. I've never drank. I've never done any drugs. I just have no interest in any of that. I know my limits in terms of these are the things that I'm not going to do and I'm never going to do. Nobody can ever peer pressure me into doing them. And also, choosing Liberty as my school ensures that I'm not going to be in an environment where that's seen as normal. So that's my moral standard on that. I don't really waver in that. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with partying, but for me, I think with partying usually comes drinking and sometimes comes drugs, and I don't want to put myself in an environment where that's ever a possibility to happen. So yeah, a lot of my friends do go to parties at their other schools, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as they know their limits, and I trust them, they know their limits. And I don't know, different people have different things they can put up with and withstand, and that's my standard on that. But yeah, I don't really have lots of FOMO. I am an Enneagram 7, but that's not really something that I identify with. I just kind of accept where I am and let other people thrive in their different ways and just cheer them on from my different stage of life. I think that's something that we can all strive to be like, and that's definitely something that I'm striving to be like every day. So yeah. Do you feel like Liberty / the people there are too conservative or too Christian? I think one thing that people get wrong about Liberty all the time, especially if they don't go there and are just seeing like what the media portrays, is that all of Liberty students are like Liberty's leadership. For example, Jerry Falwell, he's definitely a controversial figure. I don't have any personal experience, or like I've never actually like talked to him about some of the things that he said on the media, but a lot of it is super controversial. But I will say, like, most of the students don't agree with him in terms of some of the things that he said. The student body is not the exact same as the leadership. The leadership is super conservative. I have conservative friends, I have liberal friends, I have in the middle friends, I have friends who don't know anything about politics, I have friends who are libertarian. Like, I have friends all over, and I think that that is a beautiful thing. I think it's so cool that we get to learn from each other, and I would say, no, the school is not entirely entirely conservative. It seems like it from our president, but no, not everybody believes the same thing. We are in an environment where we can learn from each other regardless of what the leadership stance on it is. We also have people come into convocation that are liberal from time to time, which is great to hear from. I think that as long as we have our mindset of like, this is what I believe, but I would love to learn from you in the most kind and loving way as possible, then that's great. And that's what I believe. And yeah, I hope that kind of helps. This question says, is it weird going to a school with a curfew and a dress code? Do you feel like you're missing out? So for me, I don't feel like I'm missing out of anything that I don't want to be a part of, if that makes sense. If me going to a school that completely benefits my spiritual growth means that I have to follow a few stupid, silly rules, and yes, they are stupid and silly sometimes, then so be it, because I'd rather be in an environment where I'm growing immensely than in an environment where I only have like set times to experience Jesus, if that makes sense. And by no means am I saying that meaning that like at other big public schools that aren't Christian means that you can't grow, because I have friends who go to like public schools, like huge public schools, that are learning so much about the Lord through, whether that be through their church or through Young Life. For me personally, Liberty was the best place. I don't feel like I'm missing out because I don't really care about the silly rules. I am out of dress code a lot, like I've mentioned, and curfew is definitely annoying. Curfew sucks. However, I get a good amount of sleep, and for that I'm grateful. And if that means that I have to be in my room at 12 o'clock on a weekday, then so be it, because I value my mental health and my well-being far more than I value being out till the early hours of the morning. This question says, what's your mascara routine? I have straight but long eyelashes. Same. Okay, so I use L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And basically how I do my mascara, which is so bad, like I don't know if I should be recommending this to you guys because it's not really good the way that I do it, but I put mascara on and then I curl my lashes afterwards, and I know my eyelashes could fall out. That day hasn't happened yet, so until then I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm so stubborn. So yeah, and then I put mascara on my bottom lashes, but I swear by L'Oreal Lash Paradise. This question says, what clothes do you recommend bringing to college? I'm gonna do a whole video on that actually. I feel like that would be really beneficial. I wish I had that when I was packing for college. Go watch my pack with me video. It's a wreck, but it's actually really funny. It's great for comedic relief, not necessarily following the things that I'm packing. But yeah, I will definitely be filming that probably closer to when y'all are leaving and packing up and getting ready to go off to school. This is a great question, and one that I probably would not have the answer to first semester, since I literally just started working out like ever for the first time in my life second semester of college, because I was not liking how I was looking. There's definitely a lot of self-love, but I wasn't enjoying the way that food was making me feel, like how I was looking in the mirror. So I started working out, I started eating healthier, and some tips that I would have is to go to the Rot. The Rot probably has the healthiest food. Obviously, it's not like the most popular option. That's like our big cafeteria type place, and then we also have lots of different little restaurants. I ate a lot more garbanzo second semester. Garbanzo I think is pretty healthy. It's like rice and chicken and tzatziki sauce and cucumbers and such. It's super good. It's like Greek Mediterranean style food. I went there a lot. Salads at the Rot are great. I would recommend that. For working out, go to workout classes with your friends. I literally discovered workout classes second semester when I started working out, and they changed my life. Like, no lie. One of the things that I miss most about being back at college, obviously I miss my friends, but I also miss Pilates classes. I went to my friend Ellie. Ellie, if you're watching this, I love you. Ellie, one of my friends, taught a Pilates class, and it was like Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Fridays. I don't really know what the days were, but it was amazing. One way to stay motivated with going to the gym is to go to classes with your friends. Try to make it a weekly thing that y'all go to. And for eating healthy, the same thing. Do it with your friends. Be like, hey guys, like, can we go here instead? Or if your friends want to go to North and want to go to Chick-fil-A, just get something else at North. Go to the salad place at North. It's great. I would recommend that. But yeah, I literally love this question. I think this is my favorite question so far. And it definitely goes along with the like college theme that I've had so far in this video, but it says, do you believe in growing out of people, and when do you know you've grown out of someone? So I definitely believe in growing out of people. I think your freshman year of college, you make all these friends, at least from my experience. Like Liberty has so many people that just want to be your friend, and that's because of the fact that it's such a genuine Christian environment. But with that comes the fact that not all of the friends that you make at the very beginning, first semester, first week of freshman year, are going to be your best friends, are going to be your bridesmaids, are going to be your husband. Like, these people might not stick around with you until second semester, and I feel like I've made so many amazing friends, but there's definitely been kind of a shift to where like not all of the friends that I made first semester are like my best friends ever, if that makes sense. And I think that that's perfectly fine. I definitely believe that you can grow out of people as maybe you grow deeper in your faith and realize that that person's standards aren't necessarily the same as your standards, and you can kind of deal with that. Okay, my camera died and it was starting to get dark outside, so I've moved into my room, but I'm going to continue with the questions. Back to what I was saying about friendships and growing out of people. I feel like there does come a point where probably a conversation needs to be had where you kind of say to that person, hey, I don't think that it's mutually beneficial for us to be best friends because of the fact of like this, and this. Honesty is always the best thing to go into it with. But yeah, that's kind of my advice on that, and I do believe that you can grow apart and grow out of people, and I think that's just a natural process of life. So yeah. Best school supplies for freshman year that are actually used / most useful. So I know, at least for me at my university at Liberty, I don't use a ton of school supplies for school because most of the things that I do are on my laptop. I have a MacBook Air. I think I have the 11 or 13 inch. I think it's the 13 inch. I have a pink one. It is so cute. I love my computer. I also think that for classes, most of the classes, I literally just use a folder, if not even a folder. You can actually look this up on like the Liberty website. There's like a list of the school supplies that you need for each class, like if you find your class on the Liberty website. But I use mostly just folders for my classes. I have a few notebooks to write notes in. I know if y'all take like Psych 101, you do have to use a notebook. There's a few classes that you have to use a notebook. Most classes though, you take notes on your laptops. So yeah, not a lot of school supplies. Don't buy binders, you're not gonna use them. Buy mostly folders, bring a calculator, stuff that you would think that you would need, but like significantly less, if that helps. Yeah, DM me if y'all have any specific questions about like specific things for that. This question says, favorite study spot at Liberty? I'm transferring there in the fall and I'm so excited. Okay, so obviously y'all have heard what I've said about the second floor of the library. It's like where people are social, not necessarily the best place to do homework unless you're doing it at a time when there's not a lot of people there, but most of the time it's like the social spot. I would say the third floor of the library, and when it's nice outside, you can go into the outside section. It's like a quiet section, but it's super nice, super beautiful. Sometimes I also do homework in Montview, which is like the front side of DeMoss, where most of the classes are. It's like the front side of that building. And also you can do homework like on the Montview steps. There's so many spaces on campus that are beautiful for doing your homework. Also, you can do your homework in your common room if y'all are living in commons. There's like tons of booths. Liberty has literally so much seating on campus. You can do homework wherever. Like I've seen people doing their homework in the rot. So yeah. Do you know anybody that lives off campus, and what is their experience? So I personally am not living off campus my sophomore year. I do have some friends that do live off campus, and for most of them, they're upperclassmen. So I would recommend staying at Liberty for at least your freshman, maybe your sophomore year. My roommate from this year, Abigail, and one of my best friends, Victoria, they're moving off campus for their sophomore year, and I'm really excited to see what that's like for them. I'm excited to visit them, like have bachelor nights at their apartment. Like that's gonna be amazing. But yeah, I feel like the most people that live off campus are upperclassmen, because usually you want to be on campus, like engaged in the culture your freshman year at least. So that's what I would say. But the people that live off campus love it because you can just drive to campus, but I definitely think there are some like pros and cons with that. This isn't like speaking from like personal experience, but from what my friends have told me, like sometimes it's like you're not necessarily completely engaged in the culture because you're not always there, and you have to drive to school, which is nice, but also like I can just walk 5 minutes to class. So there's pros and cons, but your freshman year, definitely live on campus. This question says, do you feel like Liberty has a competitive spiritual life? Yes. Oh my gosh, literally yes. This is one thing that I've definitely struggled with, because a lot of the people at Liberty seem like they have literally everything together. Like they seem like model Christians. Like you're looking at all these girls and guys and you're like, Like, how do they do it? How do they like always read their Bible? How do they like always look perfect? How do they always seem like they have everything together? But that is a lie from the devil. Nobody has it completely together. I definitely think that there is this weird like spiritual competitiveness that I've definitely felt. I know a lot of my friends and I talk about this all the time. Like, am I a good enough Christian right now? Like, am I messing up? And those are all thoughts that do not come from the Lord. The Lord does not encourage like a spirit of competitiveness in terms of the faith. Like, the Lord wants us all to be chasing after him and like doing it in companionship and in love with each other. I've definitely experienced that at Liberty, that feeling of being like, am I enough for him? And I am. Like, at the end of the day, like, we all are enough for the Lord. Different people are going to be at different places in their spiritual life at different times of their life, and I think that's perfectly okay. But if you're going to Liberty next year, or you're thinking about going to Liberty next year, that's something that you may experience, is that weird competitiveness. Not a lot of people talk about it, but I have experienced it, and it sucks. It's not necessarily anybody's fault. Like, it's not anybody's intention to be like that, but it is evident at Liberty, and it's something that you have to like pray about and walk through. But know that you're not alone. You can always DM me, talk to me. I understand, been there, done that. Yeah, but it's definitely there, and it's definitely not of the Lord, but it's not really anybody's fault either. That is the last question that I have time for. If I didn't get to your question and you really want it to be answered, DM me on Instagram. My social medias are always in the description box down below. I have had such a fun time talking to you guys about Liberty, about what I'm going through right now, some growth things that I've been dealing with, some hardships, and I feel like this has been a great time of like getting to know me, but also me being able to speak some truth and wisdom and love into you guys, and just letting you know that you are so loved, so prayed for. I am so thankful for all of you who are watching this. You have brought me to where I am today. I'm so thankful for this platform that the Lord has given me. But yeah, with all of that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another new video. Bye!